Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Bellied Up podcast. Charlie and I are bellied up here at Hooligans in West Fargo. And Charlie, how you feeling, buddy?
Oh, I'm feeling good, Miles. You know,
You're
it's a
looking
balmy
good.
day here in Fargo.
So
Balmy, 40 degrees here.
balmy, what is the actual definition of balmy?
Like lip balm, like moist. It's a moist day here.
Is that what it means?
Yeah, it means there's a lot of moisture in the air. Balmy, like swampy. You know?
Pleasantly warm is the definition.
Well, maybe I'm wrong. But it still works. It is pleasantly warm here.
Yeah, I guess I've never thought about it actually what it means. But
Sometimes you think about that. You know what I was thinking about, Miles? I was thinking about all the great historical things that have happened.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Is that what you were thinking?
That's what I was thinking about.
Where were you thinking about this at?
Just when I was using the bathroom.
So you're just standing there and you're just thinking about you were just thinking, oh God, just think about all of the historical events that have happened.
Well, let me walk you through the mind, really. So I was watching the TV and they had Super Bowl highlights on, and then I was thinking, oh my gosh, what would it have been like to be at, like, not the first Super Bowl, but you know how the Packers won all those titles before the Super Bowl? You know, the world championships, because we're called Title Town, Miles. I didn't know if you knew that. But football was a completely different game back then. You know, and you can't really see it Super Bowl quality. Like, you can't watch those games. But it was a completely different game. Like, fellas were using, like, trucker drugs and smoking cigarettes mid-game, you know?
Yeah, I mean, they were all truckers.
They were all truckers, meat packers. Yeah. Meat packers, mob bosses, the whole deal. And they didn't care. And they had just like little leather on their heads, you know, and they were doing headshots and everything. But, you know, to see a quarterback step up, put his hands on the center's balls with a cigarette drip from his mouth. That's what football was like back in the day. Now they've made a lot of changes, and that's better for the health of everyone.
Well, so the question is did they actually ban cigarettes during football, or is this people just elect not to anymore? Like if Jordan Love walked out for the first snap of the 2026 season with a dart in his mouth, would he get thrown out of the game, or like is it actually in the rule book? Do you think
it'd be a hefty fine? It'd be a hefty fine for certain.
But would he get kicked out of the game? You think?
Yeah, I don't think you can smoke cigarettes in football anymore. The mask makes it pretty prohibitive, you know. Not a lot of easy. I added an extra in there, but yeah, I think it's just a difficult thing to be smoking a cigarette playing this kind of elite level professional football. You used to be able to, you know, rock a heater when you had Larry, you know, the snowplow driver.
I understand why they don't smoke anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, it sounded like you didn't.
Well, I'm saying, but is it actually in the rule book that you can't smoke cigarettes?
For sure.
It is?
I mean, we can look it up. I think it kind of goes without saying at this juncture, but I do know they had to outlaw dip in baseball, right? So you can't be, like, putting a big old chaw in. But cigarette, you used to be able to smoke in the dugout.
Yeah.
Like, openly.
They probably banned it. So where were you going with this then?
I was just saying it would be cool to, like, see one of those games in action, like, close up, you know, because we don't have the footage to look at those. That's just what I was
So you'd like to be at the NFL Championship #1.
Yes, I would. And so then I started thinking, Miles, about, like, just things that we've never gotten a chance to see that would be cool to see. And so I wanted to, like, bring you into this conversation, not just make it about me. So that's why I was thinking, what about historical events more broadly? So I was like, well, maybe I could ask Miles. And I thought about all this, you know, mid-P. So I didn't think too deeply about it.
So you're wondering what historical event I'd like to be a part of?
Or that you like to see in person. You know?
Yeah, I think I got a Mount Rushmore.
You want to go there when they're building Mount Rushmore?
No, I have.
I mean, that'd be really slow. I know you think that they just blasted that bitch with lasers, but not like
no,
that took
I imagine
decades.
I imagine it was coordinated where they put all the dynamite in and then they just hit one time and all the dynamite blew, and then the faces were just there.
Oh, that'd be cool. I honestly hope we could redo that historical event just the way you described it.
No, I'm saying I think I have a Mount Rushmore top 4 I'd like to be at.
See, that makes way more sense.
First, I'd like to be at the beginning of the universe.
Okay.
I'd like to know what happened.
The Big Bang.
Well, I mean, depends on
That's
who
some
you ask.
universe pornography right there, you know. Money shot.
I would also like to be at Jesus' birth.
Would you want to cut the umbilical cord, or
If they whatever they need me to do, I'll hold a leg. You know, I'll get water. I'll do whatever.
Dude, they don't even talk about who delivered Jesus. It's not even there.
No, I know. So it could be me.
Could be you. Yeah. All right. Nice.
I
Two
mean,
good ones.
They in the Bible they told everyone that was there. It would be like the 3 wise men, all the animals, Mary, Joseph, the angel. I think.
No, but they got there after. They didn't get there to help out.
Yeah. That's kind of what I mean.
They showed up later with a bunch of gifts, you know.
And then they'd be like, "Oh, Miles was there."
Yeah. You're one of the wise men.
Well, no. Wise guy.
A wise guy, yeah. 3 wise men.
3 wise men and a
What would
wise
you
guy.
bring? What gift would you bring? What You Betcha merch would you bring,
I
Jesus?
just bring a case of beer.
Case of Bush.
You know, because Joseph doesn't get any time of day.
No. He's like, as
So
soon as...
I bring a cigar and some beer for Joseph, and me and him we'd hit the town.
Yeah.
You know,
Going to
because back in the
Bethlehem
day,
and-
the dads didn't have to do shit after birth.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
you guys couldn't even get into an inn, dude. You think you're gonna
Well,
find
no,
a
I'd make a
tavern?
few calls and I'll get him a room.
With what?
I know the story won't be as good if they stay in a hotel room.
You're gonna make a few calls?
Yeah.
A smoke signal? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I
think
got-
about the time period, Miles. You can't just put yourself in these historical moments with modern day technology. Who are you gonna call? Who has a phone? Aside for you in this situation, huh? You're gonna drop off a phone at the Bethla Inn Hotel?
I don't know why my historical event that I'd like to be at is so triggering for you.
Well, it just doesn't make sense. All right.
So you being at the first national and NFL championship makes sense?
Yeah, it seems pretty standard to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's number 2, which I can tell you didn't like.
No, I actually did like it.
Boston molasses.
I would like 100%. Boston molasses disaster. I don't think I
for
want to.
people who don't know.
You don't know the Boston molasses?
I said for people who don't know. Of
So the
course
Boston
I know.
molasses disaster on January 15th, 1919, 1918, 1914, sometime in the 19s.
Okay.
A gigantic, basically water tower-esque thing full of hot molasses burst open and flooded the streets of Boston, killing like 21 people, injuring 150. And they said that there was a wall of molasses coming down the street at 35 miles an hour. So what I'd like to be a guy on a rooftop during the Boston molasses disaster. And I'd also like to have a megaphone to start alerting faster than what they did. Kind of a modern day Paul Revere type of situation. The molasses is coming. The molasses is coming. Get out of the streets. And I'd like to save at least as many of those 21 that I could.
Can we also talk about how insulting the phrase slower than molasses is? Because clearly molasses can haul asses.
It's
Going 35 miles an hour?
That is true.
Shit. And hot? What were they doing with that much molasses? Can I ask?
It was a business move.
And they put it in the water tower?
No, well, it wasn't a water tower. It was just like a place that made molasses, right?
Yeah, and they had, like were skirting around like regulations and stuff.
They had
And
those
actu-
back then.
Well, they
Well,
didn't
that's
because
part of this helped that.
Oh, okay.
Right.
This gave us
It was the smoking
You
regulation.
know, it's kind of like you have 9/11, so then you get airport security
Got it.
type
Got
of
it.
situation.
Right.
Which it would be nice if we as a society could just figure out how to put those guardrails up before a disaster happens, but that's not the way the world works.
Right.
You know?
So we're just going to have to wait for one robot to kill.
I mean, as silly as it sounds, kind of.
Okay. Okay.
Or
Got
at
it.
least someone needs to get injured.
Okay.
So do you want to be that? You want to volunteer as tribute? Well, if you care enough about ending the robots, you might want to volunteer. You could be Katniss Everdeen.
I'll let
Evergreen. It's a Katniss Evergreen.
I feel like
Jake,
Mark Zuckerberg should volunteer.
What's the Hunger Games? Katniss Evergreen.
Katniss Everdeen.
Everdeen.
I said it right the first time.
Katniss Evergreen is her hippie ass sister. Okay, cool. Some of the molasses. I like that one. That was very, very historical. And you knew a lot about it.
Oh yeah, I'm been obsessed with it since high school when I first learned about it. It's kind of my Roman Empire.
Is it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Are you a big molasses guy yourself?
I like a molasses cookie.
Yeah.
Don't call them a ginger snap. Not the same. And then I don't know. God, the last one I probably
Pyramids?
I was actually thinking about the pyramids. I'd like to go back. I wouldn't want to be there for the whole building of pyramids because I think it probably took a while, but at least I'd like to be in the meeting where they finalize the plans and how they're going to do it.
Do they know who built those?
We don't know.
But remember when you saw the 10 Commandments? We always used to watch that on Easter. That was one that my dad would watch, the 10 Commandments. You remember that movie?
Mm-hmm.
And it showed those guys building the pyramids. Is that revisionist history?
We just don't know. A lot of people think that the Egyptians just found the pyramids.
How do the Egyptians feel about that?
I don't know. I haven't talked to them.
Well, give them on the horn. That'd be crazy, man. They are big.
Yeah.
They're pretty geometric.
And then I would come back and I would just tell everyone I know how they built it, but I wouldn't tell anyone.
That'd be the most Miles move possible. This is the most Miles thing to do in that scenario.
And then what I'd do is I'd write a book about it, and then on my deathbed I would release it, and then my kids would have a plan. They'd have to be set.
Would you be proud of your kids for releasing it, or would you want them to kind of hold it?
Well, I would release it because I'd want to be like, I'd probably go live on Instagram or TikTok and be like, here's my new book. I went, traveled back. I know how they did it. Here we go.
Nice.
And then I would pass away. And then my kids would just have to deal with the flurry afterwards.
Okay. All right. You wouldn't want to be there to answer follow-up questions or anything like that?
No.
It was sit and relish in the fame of knowing about...
Yeah, I don't do this for the fame, Charlie.
Okay.
I do this for the love of the game.
Yeah, I respect that about you, Miles.
Thanks.
I do. Well, those are some great historical events we brought up there. See, aren't you glad I asked?
I am glad you asked. I'm a little disappointed that of everything in the world, you picked the NFL championship.
I'd also like to go to
Not even the first Super Bowl.
I'd also like to go to one of the original circuses because those things were wild back in the day.
Well, just think about there was no
OSHA. You're not going to do OSHA. Who regulates a circus? It is a workplace, but not like a job site. But you'd have to imagine putting some of those up. Who regulates the circus? You ever think about that?
It's not my circus, so it's not my monkeys.
Yeah, not your monkey, not your circus. Well, anyways.
I have a kid now, Charlie. I just don't need to be worrying about who's monitoring the circus.
Well, that's
anymore.
fine. I wonder how your kid feels about you reading them bedtime stories about molasses every night. You can just because you have a kid, Miles, doesn't mean you can't, indulge in a circus every once in a while.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Circuses in the United States are primarily regulated by the Federal Animal Welfare Act, which is enforced by the U.S. Department of Agriculture.
Oh, there you go.
See? Now you can sleep at night.
Learn something new every day.
Someone's keeping an eye on the circuses. Now you can sleep at night, Charlie. So you don't need to champion, keeping circuses safe.
Yeah. Did you have a stroke right there?
I did.
Okay.
I smell toast.
All right. Well, we should probably take some callers before
I croak. I got to write that book about the pyramids.
I know.
All right, let's do it. Hi, Tyler. This is Miles and Charlie from the Bellied podcast.
Hey, how are you, boys?
We're doing real good, Tyler. Heard you found some in a trunk.
Oh, boy, do I got a story about this one.
Okay.
So I just recently moved.
Is it a finger?
No, but it
All right.
could have been one. Honestly, I haven't cleaned it out all the way. I'm kind of scared to now.
That's my last interruption. Sorry.
No, you're all good. So I just give you a little context. I just moved and I was, looking for a little daily to drive. And my buddy had a car for sale and, well, we've been fixing it up so I can drive it. Popped the trunk open and because there's a really bad smell in there. Well, we didn't really know what it was. Well, we popped the trunk and we found a notebook. In this notebook happened to be the previous owner's entire life. He spent a year in prison, and in this notebook was every day he was in there.
Wow.
Oh yeah, there was days he was counting down on a calendar. There was love letters, phone numbers, all sorts of stuff. Found a little bit of blood on some paper.
Okay.
What was that entry about?
There was a love letter to his girlfriend. I don't know if that came from him or his cellmate.
Okay.
Wow.
I mean,
yeah.
It's just a quick pause here. You're like, you should publish this. This is great. And
honestly, he's got some good material in there. I can use it on my girlfriend.
Dude, pop it open. Pop it open.
Do you have it with you right now?
It's actually down in the car.
Go down there.
Go get it.
It's about an hour drive down there.
God.
Oh, I thought you meant like downstairs. I thought you
Okay.
were
Okay, listen. We got to do a Bellied update. You're going to call back, and we're going to get some passages read.
Do we
out
know
loud.
what this person's name is? At least their first name?
His name was Keith.
Okay.
Keith, and you know it's a was.
Well, his name is Keith because, funny enough, the girl that he was writing to, there's more to this story. Her phone number was in there, and I decided to give it a call.
Oh,
Damn. This is cool. I am invested.
And I gave it a call, and I'm not going to name names on it, but we'll just, for the sake of the story, name her, I don't know, Shauna.
Okay. What a pull.
I call her, and I go, hi, is this Shauna? She goes, yeah, who is this? And I tell her, I was like, my name's Tyler. I found a notebook with your name in it. Complete radio static on the line. No response. About 5-10 seconds. Thought line disconnected. She goes, where did you find the notebook? And I was really concerned. Because I was like, oh boy, maybe I shouldn't have this notebook. And I told her, I was like, the dude's name is Keith, and he had your number written down. Funny enough, she is still with him to this day.
Oh, wow.
She goes, yeah, that's my boyfriend's notebook. Was it in his old car? And I told him what the car was, and she goes, yep, that's his old notebook. I didn't know.
Did he try to get it back, or is he just like, yeah, have fun with it?
I asked, I was like, do you want it back? She's like, no, do whatever you want with it.
Let's go.
Dude.
Well,
yes.
we could do a reoccurring segment of from the Diary of Keith.
Yes.
From the Diary of Keith. I love that.
First of all, I love that you called us with this information. That makes me so happy.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, and my buddy that I bought the car from, he listens to the podcast, and so do I. And I told him, I was like, I'll just throw my hat in the ring, see if they like it. And well, I guess you guys like the idea of it.
Love the idea. So have you read the whole notebook cover to cover?
Cover to cover.
God, I bet you're like a little schoolgirl, like, ooh.
Yeah.
His feet are kicked up behind him, you know?
Little page turner.
Did you start getting emotionally invested in this guy's life?
Oh, yeah, no. Me and my buddy, his name's Caleb, that listens to the podcast. We're both sitting there, and it's about 8:30 at night. So we've got this light shining on the notebook, looking like a bunch of schoolgirls in the corner, laughing and giggling at these 3 to 4 page long love letters in between. Oh, this is today's date. This is how many days I have left. And this was just last year. His last entry was from November 25.
Oh. I thought this was like a 1970s kind of situation. Where was he locked up at?
Locked up here in Utah. I don't know if you know. How well do you guys know Utah?
They don't serve beer in those prisons, I hear.
No, sadly they don't. It's
Bummer.
nothing but cold metal and mush.
Do we know what he was in for before we go too far down the rabbit hole here?
I don't know. I'm kind of scared to dig deeper into it because, one of the podcast episodes from you guys was that missionary down in Mexico with the cartel, and I'm kind of worried he was also part of it because there's quite a few names in there that sound like they might be related to the cartel.
Oh, he's a Mormon then, huh?
I don't know, but there's a high chance.
Okay, interesting. Well, let me ask you this now. What's the juiciest thing that you read in there?
Well, do we want to save it for the Diary of Keith or no?
Yeah,
I mean, there's plenty of good things in there, but one of the more interesting ones, he doesn't know how to spell the word lose.
Lose? How does he spell it?
Lose. There were
Spells it loose.
5 different times. He spelled it loose and then L-O-S-S-E, L-O-O-O-E, L-O-E-S-E. Like, he, out of everything, fantastic handwriting for this guy, might I add. But he can't spell the word lose.
Maybe it's a code.
Ugh, I hope not.
What was so loose that he was saying it all the time?
No, they were all in the
Shanna.
love letters he was writing to Shauna.
Well, what was?
Doesn't want to lose her.
Oh,
Yeah. it was
Doesn't wanna lose her.
Doesn't want to lose her.
he didn't want to lose her. No, he fantastic handwriting for a man trapped in prison. I don't know how he even got a pen in there. I didn't know they were allowed to have them.
oh yeah, you can have a pen in prison. Yeah. How do you think
I
they're
didn't know
going to
that.
make the shank? So, well, give us some highlights. Give us an overview.
Yeah, like if this was a movie trailer, what would it tell us about the story?
Basically, a man's inability to spell the word lose, trying to fight to keep a relationship together while keeping track of the days left behind the bars.
Okay. All right, and what are some of the dramatics? Was she starting to see another guy at all?
From how his entries were, I don't think so, because there was one entry where he was really excited because she came to visit him about 3 months into his sentence.
Was it conjugal?
No, those
Probably.
are
Maybe.
really hard to get.
Are they?
We on our other podcast, You Bet Your Radio, we have Patreon, and we do episodes there, and we have a segment called Prison Pals, where one of the patrons works at a prison, and the warden of the prison approved that he could listen to our Patreon podcast while he was working with the inmates. And so that guy is now he writes us questions and answers to the prisoners. So essentially we are pen pals
That's great.
through a podcast with guys in prison in Kansas. And we call it Prison Pals.
That's awesome. You're like Johnny Cash, man.
Yeah.
Kinda.
That's awesome.
The
Got a
podcasting
little
Johnny Cash. That I'm gonna
And it's
subscribe to your Patreon now.
Yeah. And so we asked about conjugals, and they said it's actually really hard to get.
What do you have to do?
I don't know. That's a great follow-up question, Charlie. You should come on the Patreon podcast.
I would
and ask him
love to
that.
come on and ask about the conjugals.
But yeah, it's I don't know, it's actually turned into kind of a like fun thing that like one of the guys is like because they have to like basically where he's like earning credits for something. What was it? Custody credits, or basically he's like used like him talking to us and telling his story on the podcast is like a good thing to help out his life afterwards. It's kinda
That's
nice.
awesome. Well, that's look at you doing a public service here, Miles.
Good Samaritan.
Hell yeah. Well, that's cool. Check it out. You Betcha Radio. Subscribe to the Patreon. So tell me though. So you got like basically he's in this relationship. He's trying to hold together. He's in prison. Any prison fights?
There's nothing wrote down about it, but there's several pages that have some pretty big blotches that I thought was paint, but it's not paint.
All right.
Unless they were coming up with a new way for red ink, I don't think it's paint.
Yeah, maybe you just got a paper cut.
Fingers crossed, just a little paper cut.
So it's basically like you have the in your hands. You are possessing the prison version of the movie The Notebook.
Basically,
By the way.
in a nutshell, summed
So-
up in a nutshell.
We would like to buy the rights of this story right here on the podcast, Charlie.
Yeah. What can we offer you?
Well, how about this? How about a little bit of a royalty split?
Okay.
All right,
A little
Mr.
bit of a royalty
Wonderful.
split.
Damn. Somebody watched Jerry Maguire before.
Someone's watched Shark Tank.
I was a lot of Shark Tank. A lot of Shark Tank.
How does it? Oh, well, don't tell us how it ends. How does it start?
You open up the front cover, and the first thing you see. The best part about this, the front cover is a book that says Notebook Property, his name, the Latter-day Saints below it.
Yes, dude. The Mormon Prison Chronicles.
I mean, that's perfect though. Like, if you're like, hey, you find out your boss follows you on Instagram, you start posting about how much you love work. You know, it's like if the prison guards find his notebook, they want him to think it's like a journal about his faith with God.
There you go.
Exactly.
Smart man.
And you open it up, and the first thing you see is a bunch of names. I'm pretty sure his credit card pin's in there. Some addresses to his old apartment, some other addresses that I'm kind of curious to look up and see where they take me. And then his first love letter.
Okay. And how does it start?
Dear Shauna, and I quote from memory, just the first 3 words is, I'm good to swear on here, right? Because he puts a lot of exclamation into it. He goes, and I quote, I fucking, in all caps, fully spelled out, all capitalization, love you, comma. I do not want to miss you or mess up this relationship, comma. I don't want to LOOSE you.
I fucking love you.
It's exactly that.
Well, these are
very punctual.
These are also unsent love letters if they're in the journal.
Yeah, I don't think she's even seen them. This is like this man's diary.
Okay, but also, diary. Dude, you got to think maybe these are rough drafts, so cut him some slack on the lose thing. So he might have
cut him some slack on that.
He might have wrote it down first in there and then copied it to a letter and sent it to her.
That's true.
That's a possibility, but even though he can't spell it, we'll cut him some slack. But there's some good references in there that I'm pretty sure. If I change up the name a little bit and fix some of the wording and take the prison parts out, I might be able to make my girlfriend happy on Valentine's.
Okay.
All right.
So he's kind of a poet, you're saying?
He's a poet who did some hard time. Had a lot of thinking.
Well, how hard? I mean, it sounds like he was in there a year.
That's when it started. Or that's when the notebook started.
Okay.
I don't know how long prior.
Okay, interesting. So basically love letters and counting down prison time and some blood. What other highlights do we have?
Well, the fact that it said Mormon, Latter-day Saints.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
And it is the only thing that was not water damaged in the trunk of the car.
Okay.
And the car is kind of sketchy. I couldn't tell if it had been broken into in the past or not. But the radio is ripped out. Everything's covered in dust, dirt, pigeon poo. There's hay in the trunk like they were using it to move hay bales. Farm write-off. A little bit of a tax exempt on that one, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what he was worried about.
Maybe he was using it to hide the notebook. Who knows?
Huh.
And you've read this whole notebook.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's interesting.
Did it for a little bit? Did it start to take over your life a little bit? Like you're at work and you're just thinking about getting back to the notebook and reading it?
Oh, yeah. The next day I was sitting there. I was at work. I'm like, man, I wish I brought that with me. That's some good reading material for lunch.
Yeah, I bet.
I was invested in it. You could have a 3 gold star novel seller right there.
Does it get 50 Shades of Grey erotic?
Not quite. He kept it fairly clean. Which, putting this together, I feel like he might have taken the fall for something he might not have done.
Really?
Oh, so you're starting to sympathize with him a little bit.
I am slightly.
Are you starting to fall for him too?
Maybe.
Wow.
Do a little late night adventure. Go to the author himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we could probably track him down.
You already did track him down. He's alive and well, right? How old is this guy?
I could not tell you. If I had to guess, probably late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I called his girlfriend, she didn't sound too old, but she didn't sound young either.
That's good that she wasn't young.
Nice
That's
mid-range.
like
Yeah,
that would have been bad.
It could have been really
That would have been really bad, and you probably wouldn't need to turn that notebook over to someone.
If it was that case, I probably would have.
Yeah, was her name on the caller ID, or was her mom's name on the caller ID? Is very important detail here.
It was her name on the caller ID.
All right, that's very good.
Good.
So that was a good sign. But the other numbers in there, they're kind of a scary thought.
Have you called any of those numbers?
No, because right next to him is a full-blown Hispanic name. If I tried to say it, I'd probably sound like I'm trying to cast a spell or something.
Got it.
I'd butcher the living hell out of it.
All right.
So any details about wrongs done or the crime?
No confessions. He talks about his court date and hoping they'll go easy on him.
Yeah, that's so funny.
But he doesn't. There's no confessions in there. No 50 Shades of Grey. But a lot of very well worded, not greatly spelled, but well worded love letters and time management, I guess is the word. I don't know.
What do you mean by? Oh yeah. All right. Well, here's what we'll do. You get your hands on the notebook again, and we'll have you call back in, and we'll do a little diary, the Diary of Keith segment on the podcast.
Yes.
And we'll have you read a journal entry, and we'll analyze it like it's poetry.
I like the sound of that because I need to get my hands on this notebook so I can continue to read and get more invested into it.
Yeah.
It's quite the page turner.
All right. Well, you call back. We'll find a time. And why did the car smell so bad?
Because the trunk seal was bad.
Oh, okay.
And so we could smell
Mildew.
water, like mildew, moldy hay, straw back there.
Yeah.
Tracked it down to that and led me to the notebook, the Diary of Keith.
I like it. Man. The Keith book.
The Book of Keith.
The Book of Keith.
The Book of Keith. But I'll get my hands on it and we can have a little story time.
That would be wonderful.
All right.
Well, we look forward to it, man.
Perfect.
All right,
I'll
dude.
get my hands on, let you know.
Hey, we'll talk to you soon. All right.
I'll talk to you soon, boys.
All right.
Have a
Bye
good
bye.
one.
And this is a good reminder to all you guys out there. You know, if you find any love letters or something,
I don't know about you. I can't speak for you, but anything juicy, we'll sink our teeth into on this podcast.
oh yeah,
Any juicy details of any sort, we'd love to hear them.
we like a little juice here. Thirsty boys. Sorry, didn't mean that. It's probably a weird conversation for our bartender to just pick up that part right there. Sorry about that. Anyways, let's take another caller.
He's literally never said that once on this podcast before.
Well, I was looking at a reaction to you talking about juicy stuff, and it's kind of weird.
With thirsty boys.
Oh yeah, thirsty boys. Yeah, it just sounded like he's not. You know, we're business partners now. Anyways,
Let's do another caller.
all right. Hey, Miles, I got a question for you.
Yep, go ahead.
Have you
Chuck.
broken in your Brunt boots yet?
The thing is, Charlie, is you don't really need to break them in. They kind of come already with the feeling of broken inness.
Yeah,
Brokenness.
yeah.
They're not broken. They're broken in.
They're broken in. You've already gotten through. They already. You know, every time you get a new pair of boots, you gotta give it a little bit to feel right on the foot.
Not these guys.
They I don't know what they did.
And I got the steel toe, like comp toe on here too, Chuck.
Yeah.
And my other boots, I can like tell that it's got that toe on them. You know what I mean?
Gives you a little sense of security out there.
Yes.
You
and
start carrying things maybe you shouldn't because you're like, worst case scenario, this isn't going to mess up my big toe
that's true.
or my little toe.
But what I'm saying is my other ones, you can tell that it's got a steel toe on it. These, I forget I got a steel toe on it.
Oh, so sometimes
Because
you're
they're
even
that
cautious.
comfortable.
You're even cautious with what you're carrying because you're like, shoot, I don't have a steel toe on these suckers.
Correct, yeah.
That's wild.
But they're comfortable steel toe boots, and I like that about them.
Yeah, I like that too.
I also like just like the look of them.
I go running in them.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
In your steel toe boots?
Yeah.
Okay.
I go.
This just in, Charlie goes running in his steel toe boots.
I do all my 5Ks in my boots.
Hey, yeah.
I like the extra steel in the toe because it's like 5K. I mean, run a full marathon, right? But if you got that little extra heft, it builds up the quadriceps.
Yeah, it's an extra workout.
Yeah.
So guys, if you're runners out there, you might want to invest in a pair of Brunt workwear boots.
Yeah, you won't forget the I forget what the name of running shoes are, but one of them, insert any iCloud, Hookah shoe, whatever, forget it. Go with Brunt. You can run a mile and then you can run to the job site.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. And Charlie, knowing you got to do a lot of running on the job site because you got to keep going back to the truck because you forgot something.
Yeah. I do have a tendency to forget things. Mm-hmm. Yes. And also, anytime I'm doing stuff at my house, it's not just forgetting it. It's, I got to go back to the hardware store.
Now you can just run there in your Brunt boots.
That's exactly
They're that
it.
comfortable.
Oh, that's it. I love it.
So, guys, if you're looking for a new pair of work boots or running boots, depending on who you are, you got to go to bruntworkwear.com. Use code BELLIEDUP. You get $10 off your order.
$10. Heck yeah.
All right, folks. We are here with the Midwest lawyer himself, Mr. Russell Nicolay. Welcome back to the podcast. Good, sir.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Fun to be here. Good to see you guys again. So,
Russell, I got a question for you, man. Who's like the MJ of lawyers?
Yeah, who's the Michael Jordan of lawyers?
I'd love to say myself. I think, but
let's just for this sake, we'll just say you're Scottie Pippen.
Hey,
right? You're right there.
Well, that might have a lot of weight with it. But what I would say is, if you're looking, there's all kinds of different lawyers. There's been some really great lawyers out there. There was a guy, Jerry Spence. He's like a legend.
What a name.
Yeah, Jerry Spence. He was pretty much undefeated he originally was doing what we call like some insurance defense work, but then he became like a criminal defense lawyer and a personal injury lawyer for people that were injured.
Yeah.
And I don't think he ever lost a case. He lived out in Wyoming and had this like a ranch where he taught people skills. And so I'd say he probably would be the MJ.
Wait. He had a ranch where he taught people skills and he never lost. Did he bring jurors to this ranch to teach them skills? What's the real story here?
If you were able to see him or talk to him, he just had a way. He was just a really good at connecting with people and like using analogies. And he did this thing too at the end of some of his cases where he would give this story about a bird in his hand, and ultimately whether the bird would live or die was up to the hand, which was them. And like he just did it. There was people that had actually filed motions to not allow him to talk. They would ask the judge like, hey, to limit it because they felt like he hypnotized or like did something.
So charismatic.
Yeah.
Like if he wasn't a lawyer, he'd be like a serial killer.
Or like a really smooth politician.
Right? Is he still around?
No, he passed away. He was real. Towards the end of his life, he was obviously, a lot different, getting really old, but he just recently passed away within the last 12 months.
You have any of his game tape?
We could get some of his game tape.
That'd be cool to see.
He wrote a couple books too. So
give the books a shout out. Kind of curious.
I don't know the name. I have them though, but I can tell you one of the things that was really fun for me is like 2 years ago, I met like one of his, like an apprentice of his.
Yeah.
And we learned the dark arts of trial.
The dark arts of trial?
Which,
I don't know what that means, dude.
It's basically convincing someone to have an open mind about what they're going to decide. So, and I don't, one of the things would be, for example, if you are a criminal defense lawyer, which I'm not, you're talking to the jury in what we call a voir dire when you're picking the jury, right? Yep. And he's defending someone that potentially murdered someone, right? So he needs to get the jury to think, I as a juror could murder someone, right? But how would you do that? So you start talking about self-defense. Like, could you leave room open? There is a possibility that there's a situation where each one of you would have to take someone's life. And so there's like it's a little bit of
Yeah, he's priming the pump early on.
Yeah, but
he's not starting in the courtroom. He's starting way earlier.
It's a lot. It uses a lot of psychology, but those lawyers are from, they kind of invented some of the modern trial lawyer, but they're like, geniuses in a way, but they've done like I said, MJ type lawyer.
That's pretty wild. Do they teach you those sort of a lot of those rhetorical skills? Is there a college that's studying? Was it Jerry Sage? Is that
Jerry Spence?
Jerry Spence. Jerry Sage. That's an erotic adult star from the 80s. But
yeah, does this guy have a mustache?
yeah. But
He did not.
Jerry Spence. I mean, are there like law schools that study his rhetorical style, or
There might be, but like he had his own Jerry Spence trial lawyers college where you'd go out and live. I never got to do this. I had the opportunity when I was
Sounds
a young
like a-
lawyer.
This
Yeah.
dude's wild.
You go out there for like 3 weeks and you live at the ranch and you learn these things. I was able to read some of his books, and like I said, I met one of his kind of second in command guys and worked with him and actually trained with him for a while. But yeah, that's
Dude, there's like a whole
Interesting.
underworld of lawyering.
I was just gonna say, man.
That you get that it's like a coaching tree. Like Nick Saban's got his coaching tree.
yeah.
This guy clearly has a coaching tree.
The whole come out to my ranch and I'll show you my my style.
Yeah, is there a train station by that ranch or no?
There might be talking like Yellowstone style, like
Yeah.
like if you decide that you're not going to get the brand or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, you should have had that guy show him his brand.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the new lawyers at our office was at that college. So I should ask him if he's got a brand.
Yeah,
I will.
You gotta dig into that,
Yeah.
man. Figure out what it was like.
Yeah, I will.
Find out what's the underbelly. Any creepy stuff going on? That's a show right there.
I think it's quite the adventure and experience. So, in like some of the things that they teach you, psychodrama, you might know, like, I don't know if you've ever dealt with psychodrama, but like walking yourself through trauma and putting yourself in other people's viewpoint, right? Like your client, you've done maybe some of that when you learn through acting.
Acting, yeah,
They work on a lot of that.
Okay.
And I've done that stuff, not with him directly, but I can imagine like being out somewhere doing that stuff for like 3 weeks straight. Like it'd be quite the story.
No, I took some weird acting classes at one point with and they kind of break you down. They break down your inner whatever, and then they a lot of like they just sort of yell at you kind of stuff.
Like, what do you mean?
They had a hard time breaking me. I was like, I grew up like this. Dude. Come on.
Yeah, you're just like, this is baseline. For
Yeah,
me.
you're gonna have to try a lot harder to get
If
me.
you
want to
break me down, just start being nice to me. Just start complimenting me. That'll make me squirm.
I think, right, because if you grew up in the Midwest and you had a Midwest dad, like you've been yelled at pretty much for everything.
Yeah,
So
yeah, you grew up knowing that you weren't shit.
And I actually think that's the way to if you want to make a Midwesterner uncomfortable, don't be mean to them. You be like, you give them compliments and they won't know what to do.
We can't handle that.
that's true.
People on this podcast and I just start swarming. If they start complimenting us,
I know.
Charlie and I are like, oh God.
Like Miles, if your dad came up to you and said, "Man, I'm really proud of you," like,
Well, one,
Don't do
that's like the only thing I want in life.
yeah, but
You
two,
know, so it's like accomplishing a dream, and then
mess
it's,
with your head.
yeah, but then afterwards you're like, oh shit, I accomplished every dream that I ever set out to do. What do I do now? It's really gonna mess with me psychologically.
thankfully, Miles, I don't think Bud's gonna give you that anytime soon.
No, yeah. So
And
thank God.
thank God, because we got a lot more years of this podcast.
It's kind of one of those things. It's like, do I actually want to achieve that dream or not? Because I think it would be pretty weird if he said that to me.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to Jerry Sage, man.
Spence.
Jerry Spence.
Why do you keep
Shout out to
Not the
Jerry
porn
Spence.
star, the
Sorry,
lawyer.
I'm thinking of the 80s right
Went
now.
6 for 6 in the NBA Finals. Jerry Spence.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jerry
Yeah.
Sage.
Yeah.
Old Jerry Sage. No, Jerry Spence. Okay.
I'm going to get you guys each a copy of one of his books because I think you would actually like to read it, even if you're not interested.
I'd
in
love
it.
to read
yeah.
it, dude.
It's a super interesting story
Yeah, I'd like
that he
it.
has, and like his life story, and then just his thoughts on life now that he's gone. And he's pretty wise. He was a wise guy, so I mean, like I think you'd enjoy it. So I'll get you guys copies.
Hell yeah, man. Appreciate
Now, one
that.
last question on that. Do you think he was undefeated because he was a good lawyer or because he was just the best at picking the cases he wanted to do?
He took on really hard cases, from what I understood, and there's some like if you Google him, you'll see he took on some public cases like defending folks, and so I think it was just he was that level of lawyer, man. He was the MJ.
Now, okay, but if you're the MJ of lawyers like that, then you got to have. He must have repped some famous criminals.
He did. I mean, like I myself don't do criminal defense, but he did do criminal defense.
Well, what's a famous criminal he repped?
I can't think off the top of my head, but he talks about some of the things because he's obviously older than we are. I'm older than you guys too, but so some of the things that would have been more famous and in the news, I would have been like a kid probably.
Okay,
or maybe I would have been high school,
not
right?
alive. Yeah,
so not paying attention as much.
I see. But he was taking on hard cases. That's wild. I'd love to read about that. I like hearing about how people get into the human psyche.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man. It's been great.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks for asking me about. We get to talk more lawyering out here at the bar. So
yeah,
nothing like it. Nothing. You want a sip of my old fashioned?
Yeah. Well, I might need that here soon.
Yeah.
So, where can the folks find you if they end up injured and need some help?
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't find me at a ranch in Wyoming, but you can find me at nicoletlaw.com or you give us a call at 1-855-NICOLET.
Hello there, Mike. It's me, Charlie, your buddy on the Bellied Up podcast. I'm here with my buddy, Miles, the You Betcha guy. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Charlie. How about you?
Doing wonderful. We know that you have put some thought into being the mayor of your town and what you would do.
Yes.
All right.
Great thought.
Yeah. If you were, so let us know. What would you do? If you were the mayor of your town for one day, what would you do?
So this would be it. I would make sure that there would be no bikers in town, like cyclists. They drive me crazy.
He's an anti-bike guy.
I mean, great exercise, but I mean, they take up the road. They're not very nice. They wear stuff that's way too tight. It's just a whole thing.
We did a whole video on this concept, actually. One of our underrated videos, I think. What town are you in?
So we live in Connecticut. It's a town called Reading. So it's a small town.
Okay. And there's probably not any bike lanes there to begin with, are there?
There's no bike lanes. There's no sidewalks. It's a very hilly community. So, if there's 4 or 5 sets of folks, the cars can't go by. It's very dangerous. You don't want to hit anyone. So it's very complicated.
Got it. Now, have you suggested this? Is there a big biking community there? Is this just a few spandex folks?
I think the spandex folks have multiplied, and there's just a ton of them. But I haven't voiced this to anyone.
Has it gotten worse? Did it get worse during COVID?
So we didn't live here before, but we lived in Massachusetts prior. But I actually had a run-in in Massachusetts with a biker while I was running. I don't know if it just followed me down here or what, but it's not looking good.
Wait, you had a run-in with a biker while you were running?
I did. So I was running. If when I'm running, I don't know, Charlie. I think you're a runner, and Miles. I'm sure you at least ellipticize. So I was thinking that
that is the nicest way to call someone fat.
You're very handsome.
It's the nicest way to call someone fat ever. You're an ellipticizer.
So, if you're running on the road, right, you want to face the traffic, or at least I do, so I know a car is not going to hit me. But that's the way the bikers go, too.
Mm-hmm.
That's not correct. That's not what they're supposed to be doing.
No, bikers should go with traffic.
Correct.
So I was all bent out of shape. So we're facing each other. And he's like, I'm running on the road, and not the town we were in had sidewalks. And he's like, use the sidewalk. And it happened a couple times where he's yelling at me. And he followed me home one time and was like, hey, you really got to stop using the road to run. You gotta run on the sidewalk.
Did you tell him to share the road with runners?
I was just like, yeah, sorry about that. And that was the end of it.
Oh, so you said sorry to his face, and now you're calling the podcast to complain about him.
Yeah, I guess that might be the gist of it, but that sounds about right.
What's the podcast? What's the podcast version of a keyboard warrior? Call-in warrior?
Well, we don't. Yeah. We have a call-in podcast, so it's not typical. So I don't think there is a phrase. We can make one though if you want, Miles.
That's what I'm trying to.
Oh, I thought you were trying to recall an actual phrase. Sorry, I misunderstood. Sorry, I didn't understand what you said, Miles.
That's what we're doing right now.
See how he laughs at me and not with me? Do you see what I'm dealing with here?
He assumed you were a runner, dude. Just let me have this one, all right?
We got to give it to Miles. We got to let him have that.
All right, we'll let him ellipticize about it later. So you got a real hard on for these bikers, huh?
I don't know if I put it that way. I heard that bike riding is cause of impotence. So I would think they probably don't have hard-ons, but I certainly don't.
I love how everything you're saying is like you're reporting for a WPR, NPR, or whatever.
You actually are very excellent at talking shit about people without it sounding bad.
With the most pleasant,
yeah.
You sound like a mayor right now, to be honest.
Like you could do
I gotta sell this bill.
You could do a service where it was like people pay you to call their boyfriend or girlfriend and just let them down easy.
Yeah. But still get some shots in there.
Yeah. Let them know how they feel, but in a nice way.
If perhaps you ellipticized a little more, we could have avoided this. But so
our time here is come to an end.
Yeah. How many girls have you broken up with, or fellas?
I'm married with 3 kids, so that I
did not answer
all I
the
know
question.
Is my wife.
That's it.
That's it.
High school sweethearts all the way through.
We met in Boston actually. So we've been together for 14 and a half years married.
Okay, hold on, buddy. We're not going past this. Why don't you want to tell us how many girls you broke up with or got broke up with?
Oh, because I only had my wife. So,
okay. I thought you were doing that as like a bit.
Yeah. Well, you can't tell if you're...
No. Yeah. If any of them, I would hope they're bikers and they get hit by a car. But we don't have to do that.
All right.
So you met in college or what?
We met actually in South Boston. We went to the same school, but different years. So we missed each other in school.
Okay.
Got
it. So you are high school sweethearts. Got it.
Yeah, it's been fun. She doesn't bike, so that's a good thing. She does have a Peloton, ironically. That's stationary.
How'd that make you feel when she brought that? Because that's a gateway drug right there. Next thing you know, she's gonna be getting a Cannondale.
So far, I've avoided that. But
what do you think you would do if your wife started cycling?
Oh boy! I mean, then I'd have to run for mayor and pass this law. But it's or else,
Damn. Do you think that would be grounds for divorce? Is it till death do us part, or till biker shorts do us part?
Maybe. No, not at all. Not at all.
He said maybe.
Wow.
Wow. You better hope she doesn't listen to this.
More so maybe that would never happen because I'd have passed this law and it'd be finalized.
Yeah, right. Listen to him dance around those words that came out of his mouth. Okay, well, let me back up a little bit and let you know something. I used to be a bicycle mechanic. Okay.
Okay.
I have built myself many a bike, and occasionally I ride those bikes. And some might say I bike often. So you might be talking to a biker. Now, I'm not wearing tight stuff because I like...
Fuck off.
What?
We said, hey, we need... For our driver versus biker sketch, we said we probably want to put the biker in some biker shorts and a tight jersey.
Yeah.
And you said, I'll bring mine.
Right, I have them. I don't wear them. I'm
Well, what do you wear then?
I
If you're
wear
biking, what do you-
let me defend my honor here. I wear biker shorts because they pad the balls, but I wear a reasonable fitting thing over it because my biker shorts do not have pockets. Okay, and I like to have pockets because I have my wallet there and my keys. Okay, so I'm not out there in the biker shorts. Don't worry, Miles. But the jerseys I'm also not a huge fan of because they are just kind of annoying. What they are good at though is bright colors, but usually I don't wear it because it's at my office and I'm not very organized. But I don't usually when I'm biking. Also, I'm biking through the woods. Occasionally, mostly on a path, but I do get what you're saying about like the biking on the roads because I've done that before, and it's as a biker, it's kind of terrifying. I would go with my buddy who loved doing it, and this was out in the hills in Los Angeles when I lived out there after school. And it's terrifying. I was like, every time I was like, Matt, this is a bad idea. I'm going 40 miles down road on these little skinny ass tires, and then there are cars whizzing by, and they're not happy. You know, it's only a matter of time. So, what if you were mayor? What if you made bike lanes? Ooh.
I don't think so. You know,
Sounds like the taxes are going to go way up,
That's true.
in this town.
Well, what if the bikers paid for them?
I still have to say no. I mean, you know, I just don't. I think they get like a certain charge out of it. Like let's make sure the cars can't pass, and you know, make them mad. I just think they're out to get people, and we got to stop this.
Well,
for their own safety.
What's your hobby? What do you like to do for fun or exercise or whatever? Because you know you're over there on your high horse. I imagine you must be pretty fit, talking shit about my elliptical.
You pissed us both off in this conversation.
Geez, I apologize. No, not my intent. I walk. I walk. We have 2 dogs. We walk the dogs, and it's a hilly area. So, you know, I still see the bikers out there, and you know, they terrorize the dogs now. So it's gone from bad to worse.
How do they terrorize the dogs?
You know, I think they just get a little bit closer, and the dogs are a little scared of the wheels, and you know, it's not good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sure would be a shame if you know, you were walking by and you had a walking stick and it slipped out of your hands and ended up in their spokes, you know?
It's crossed my mind, but I figured let's take a more, you know, prudent approach and let's just pass some laws to
a legislative
put an end to
agenda.
this. Exactly.
What about the big bike lobby? How are you going to fight those guys who don't like to see regulation on the roads? They're anti-regulation, those bike lobby people.
Well, I haven't thought that far ahead. You know, that's a fair point. We cross that bridge when we get there, I think.
Okay.
All right. And did all of this start when you and that biker had that little tiff? Do you kind of wish you told him to go F himself with his bike seat instead of just saying sorry?
I kind of did. You know, I kind of did wish that I did that. And I think you're right, Charlie. I think this is what started it all. I mean, why can't we just share the road? Why not?
Well, also why can't we? That's what the bikers are asking. Why can't we just share the road? And I think you said you're from Boston?
I'm from Massachusetts originally, so I'm from Central Mass. But
Okay.
I've lived in Boston for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought people from Boston would say a little bit more than thank you. You know, I thought you guys were massholes.
No. You know, I think that's somehow some people think that way, but you know, I always try to be kind.
Okay.
You know? And so.
Okay. He likes to be kind, Miles. Does he seem kind on this call?
He does, actually. He insulted us very kindly.
I mean, it is the nicest way I've ever been kind of insulted.
You have a true talent that way, by the way.
Thank you.
So what are the bikers in your town supposed to do? You know, if they can't be on the road and you don't want them there, where are they supposed to do their business?
So I think part of what we do is we say, if you do want to bike, right, you need to make sure that you bike between the hours of 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. first of all.
Okay, yeah, kind of like at a pool they have adult swim where all the kids got to get out of the pool, kind of like a cyclist hour around town.
So
why not? You know,
is it no cars then?
I think fewer cars, and then it most likely they can have like little light up vests and stuff like red vests that they take as they turn the corners, and probably fewer cars out there. So I think it's a win-win.
Yeah, you know what? I don't hate that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, if you're gonna bike, do it in the nighttime when no one can see you. You know.
Exactly. Yeah, why not?
What about the guys who are biking to work because they got a Dewey and
yeah, what about those guys that are riding the Huffy to work?
Yeah, I think around here it's very hilly around here, so I think they're trying to get a burn. I don't think that situation crops up. So
I guarantee you someone.
Okay, so you're saying that there's no Deweys going on in your town?
I don't think so. I would hope not. If you got a Dewey, you're driving around on a bike, that's even worse.
Well, we're not saying that they're drunk while they're riding the bike. We're saying that they're trying to get to work so they can pay for their Dewey fine.
It would probably be a haul, but I do think that I think it's get to work early and maybe stay late and that's how you do it.
You want them to get to work at 4 a.m. and leave at 6 a.m.?
I think so. I think an honest day's work.
Okay. All right. Hey, you know what? Every TIFF starts with a TIFF, and then you guys start putting some pen to paper on this. So you get out there and you write that legislation and you send it in to us, and we'll run it through our legal team.
ChatGPT.
Okay.
See what kind of I's need to be crossed, T's need to be
T'd.
Yeah, T'd. And we'll go from there. How does that sound?
That sounds good to me.
Have you ever ridden a bike?
When I was a kid, I did have a Huffy. But,
yeah, dude. Did you? Did you have a Huffy?
Let him have it, Charlie. I can tell you didn't want to let him go before you. Let him have it.
I just want to know.
Get into it.
You rode a Huffy when you were a kid. What happened on that bike? Someone hurt you?
So actually, when I was in the neighborhood and we were riding we were on a corner.
Yeah.
My friend's dad was pulling around the side. He's like, "What the hell are you doing? You're in the middle of the road. You're gonna get hit by a car." I think last time I touched the bike.
That was it.
So it's a childhood trauma.
Yeah, a little childhood trauma. I think hurt people, and now you're letting the fear that your buddy's dad instilled in you guide your life, and instead of understanding that your candle had been snuffed out by your friend's father and saying maybe I can reignite my light, you want to snuff out everyone else's light, and maybe that's what's wrong with the world today.
That got very 3D chess for me, but that was I like it. You're onto something.
So this is what I want you to do. I want you to go to the bike store. Okay, you got a good job.
Well, I certainly wouldn't take a bike to the bike store, but I suppose I would drive.
Okay, well, you drive to the bike store and ask if you can just test ride a bike. Okay, have them fit you up for one and say, "Can I just test ride this?"
And I promise you'll be able to do it because it's just like riding a bike.
Exactly. You get back on that thing, you might see some You might see some little memories creep up, a little bit of pain, a little bit of sadness, but keep riding through that. Find yourself a hill. Push through that sadness on that hill and see how you feel on your way down that hill.
Put yourself in their biker shorts. Bike a
I don't
mile
know.
on
I'm
their
not sure
tires.
I'm buying it. Yeah.
No,
you
just test drive. You don't have to buy the bike. Just
Yeah,
test
we
drive
didn't
it.
say buy it. Yeah.
I don't know. I might need some training wheels or something,
It's just like
really-
riding a bike. I promise you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'd enjoy it.
Well, you're
I don't
scared.
think-
It's
You're
okay.
scared.
Hey, it's okay. We're here.
I'm scared too about some things sometimes.
I'm a little spooked, but I could try it, but I still think, if I hate to be that person. Let's say this does work out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I go to the bike store, get this new bike,
Mm-hmm.
and I really like it. Now I'm the asshole in the middle of the road. Someone's gonna hit me. I think I'm so cool because I've got my tight biker shorts on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I see
Kind
this
of
going
like those
poorly.
tight biker shorts, though, don't you? All that running you've been doing might look good in some biker shorts.
It could. But then what do I do with the dogs? I was supposed to. They need their walks and stuff like
Sure.
that. So
Doesn't mean there's not enough hours in the day for both of them.
that's true.
Do your kids have bikes?
They don't because of my stance on bikes.
This is crazy, by the way. I thought you were doing a bit. I'm sorry, but this is getting to be a lot.
Miles, we are making progress.
So because the bad man's not here anymore, dude. Just so your buddy's dad.
What's his name?
My friend's name or the
Your
dad's
friend's
name?
dad's name.
His name is Rich.
Rich. Go ahead, Miles.
So because Rich, when you were a kid, just told you to bike on the sidewalk because you were like 8 and actually could get hit by a car because you don't know what you're doing in the middle of the road. You vowed to never ride a bike again. You now have a vendetta against bikers your whole life, and now you're robbing your children from the enjoyment of the open road on a set of 2 wheels, all because of the bad man Rich.
Don't forget the guy in town that.
Oh yeah, how can I forget him? Yeah.
So,
So you
Just
add him
crushing.
into the mix. That's how we are where we are today.
yeah, I think, and then just if you take up so much of the road, I think it's just bad. I bet the other guy who yelled at me, I bet his name is Rich too. Come to think of it.
We learn a lot about society on this podcast.
I think
Charlie.
we do, Miles. I think we do.
I think that a lot of today's problem could be solved from just letting go of the riches in our life.
Dicks.
Gotta let go of the dicks in your life.
You gotta do it. Yep.
Got to do it.
I know somewhere deep down inside of you want to put a bike jersey on, maybe some shorts. You might do it when no one's home, look in the mirror and do a little spin.
Yeah.
You might go on your wife's Peloton when she's not looking. She's like,
just to see how it feels.
just to see how it feels. The saddle,
Just to feel the saddle underneath your loins.
underneath your loins. And you might wonder, you might even turn on one of the video on that Peloton and say, let's ride the hills today. And you might look at that screen and visions of your childhood may creep back in. Let them creep. Let them explode in your imagination. And if Rich comes in, say, hey, Dick, I'm holding mine right now. And by me holding it, I mean the saddle. I'm in the saddle of life.
Don't force dick out. Just force the dick in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my.
Mm-hmm.
As described, I probably won't do this, but
I think
we
you
didn't.
might.
We didn't describe that. That's what you're going to do. We know you've already done this, dude.
Mhm.
We know you have.
And your secret's okay with us. It's safe with us.
We're not going to tell anybody.
No. So we think we know what you got to do, and we think you know what you got to do too. Go to that bike store. You can wear your shorts under your slacks. No one will know.
It's maybe it's
okay to cry.
But
It's okay to cry.
Just give me a minute.
Strong men cry.
That's right. It's right. It's maybe what we need to do is have some maybe just pass some laws and just doing
Dude, I think you need to see a therapist about Rich. I seriously think, I'd like to think that a lot of problems can be solved yourself. I think you just got to go see professional help about Rich.
It could be Rich. You never know. And that's where we gotta. Progress starts somewhere, right?
It does. And that's all we ask is you just keep an open mind. So, listen, go home to your wife, go home to your kids, and tell them you love them. But when you say you love them, know what you're really saying is we might be getting bikes. Your wife wants it. She does. She brought one into your home. Mm-hmm. And I got news for you. There's a bike locked up outside the CVS in town. You're wondering, why is that bike always there? That lady's bike, 54-centimeter frame. You ask your wife about that bike sometime. See her pupils get wide. Then you call us back. All right?
It sounds like a plan. We'll do. I'll keep you posted.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in, dude.
This has been great.
Watch out for bikers and tell Rich we says hi.
I will. Yes. Well, thanks guys for having me, and I hope you have a great week.
All right. Clip into those pedals, pal. We'll talk soon.
What were you getting at with the last thing about the CVS? You're saying that his wife keeps the bike at CVS so he doesn't know about it?
She's stepping out on him. Pedaling out on him. She's pedaling out on you, buddy. We know it. You know it. It's okay to just let it ride.
Dude, I totally thought he was doing a bit the whole time. And then I realized that, this might be real.
Yeah, I think he's got to get on a bike before he ends up with a biker in his trunk. I do.
Well, Chuck,
Miles,
is that another good episode of the Bellied Up podcast?
Yeah, it's been great. Good to hang with you here. Get on over to Hooligans, folks. Fargo, North Dakota. West Fargo, actually. In West Fargo, I was born and raised at. Hooligans, I spend most of my days. Don't forget to tip your bartender.
We'll see you in the next one.
Okay, hope you guys have a good one. Goodbye now. Toodaloo.